so excited to sit down with my dear friend, Crystal Hough, who is a certified personal trainer and nutrition coach and founder of Crystal Hough Coaching and the creator of Lift Strong and Fuel Up, which are two programs designed to help women lift heavy, fuel smart, and feel strong in every season of life. Crystal takes a practical, science-based approach to fitness and nutrition with a strong emphasis on strength training, metabolic health, and sustainable habits that fit real life. So practical also. She's also a mom of 4, bringing a real life perspective to how she coaches busy women and her really cute dog, Mango, golden retriever.
Yes.
So blending a lot in one cup. So thank you for coming in today. This is so fun. I am here today with my dear friend, Crystal Hough, who is a certified personal trainer and nutrition consultant. What I find most fascinating about you is how you have incorporated your background as an investment banker, as a math teacher, as a mom of 4 who's been able to take that basis of knowledge and experience and translate it into what you're doing now. Mm-hmm. So I would love to hear a little bit about how you've done that, how you managed the juggle, and helping us connect the dots a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've had lots of different hats in my life. As you said, out of college, I was an investment banker. Then I switched to become a high school math teacher, and I was also a high school coach. I taught some college classes as well. And then we moved out to California from the East Coast, and with one kid at the time.
Yeah.
And then I've had 3 more since.
Yeah.
So I think for me, something that I've always been passionate about is fitness and health. Mm-hmm. I was a college athlete as well, and I've coached young sports. I've coached high school sports, and I just love being able to help people get better and feel physically fit. Mm-hmm. So it kind of all started, I was taking a body rock class at Pilates, and one of my friends was like, they had just talked about instructors, you would be a great instructor. And I'm like, I don't know. And then I was like, all right, let's try it. Mm-hmm. So then I became a body rock instructor, and then someone was like, go get your personal training certification. I got my personal training certification. Mm-hmm. I was working for a company that also did nutrition, and they're like, let's get you a nutrition certification as well. So it's kind of just really broadened my view of what the kind of health and wellness space is, and I've learned a lot myself. Mm-hmm. Which is really cool, is like using my own body as a science experiment. Mm-hmm. And then helping others kind of learn the nutrition, because I think the nutrition and the fitness part, I think that we don't do a good job teaching nutrition growing up, right?
And the recommendations have changed.
And they always change.
Right?
Yes.
And we're supposed to have like 8 servings of carbohydrate.
Yeah. Yes.
Just like pasta.
I mean, and then we go through lots of phases, right? Like don't eat carbs, don't eat carbs, yes. Fat-free, so I think that the science part of it, of just like, okay, we need all of these things. Our body, there's reasons we need carbohydrates, there's reasons why we need fats, and reasons why we need protein. So mm-hmm. understanding that, and like timing around kind of when you're working out, or if you want to lose weight, or if you want to build muscle, kind of how those all play a part is important. Mm-hmm. So I love like learning and then helping others also learn and get better for themselves.
Is there anything that you've learned that was particularly disruptive to your approach, or like a way you were doing things previously?
Yes, I mean, I think the initial recommendations that kind of when I was learning, being on the nutrition coaching mm-hmm. side, was like really keeping calories super low. Mm-hmm. And I don't find that to be beneficial for women. I think, yes, there's a calories in, calories out, but you also need to have enough fuel, because mm-hmm. I think there are a lot of women who are under fueling themselves. Yeah. And that actually is worse, because then your body gets into this like fight or flight state, and it's actually just holding on to everything. So yes, if you're trying to lose weight, you want to be in a deficit, but not forever. You want to be, mm-hmm. maybe up to 12 weeks, and then go back to maintenance for a little while, and mm-hmm. then go back into a deficit. But don't be afraid of actually fueling your body, because you need food to do things.
For your hair, for your skin, for mm-hmm. all of these things. How have you seen your own identity evolve over the years, from from your 20s in New York City as a young professional to your pretty early on professional evolution from banking to teaching, and then moving here and being home. I'd love to hear a little bit about the birth of some of these identities and maybe the transition of one to another.
I think that, so starting out of college, I felt very powerful, like, oh, I'm working on Wall Street, investment banking, and then leaving that to become a teacher was a hard transition for me, just in the definition of success, right? Because I'm not making as much money, especially being a teacher, but realizing that my well-being and what I was passionate about and helping others versus sitting and crunching numbers and working holidays and late nights, like that wasn't sustainable for me, and I didn't want to do that. I thought I would maybe transition to teaching after children, but it happened earlier. And then just really kind of, I feel like my personality is one I love to just give back, to teach people and to like explain why we're doing this, and that fit me so well as a teacher, is just being able to like make things simplified, taking something that might be challenging for people and make it easier for them to see. And I think that's kind of helped me raising children, and then now here in fitness and nutrition, of like just giving the reasons behind something, but making it digestible.
Yeah, I love that. So your definition of success has changed over time.
Yes.
What is it now?
I mean, it goes back and forth, right? I mean, there's sometimes in my mind I'm still like, well, I don't make a lot of money in comparison to, especially Marin County here. But I get filled from having people be happy and to feel empowered by themselves. So success for me is empowering others to feel better and to do better.
What is one thing that you feel you could unlock right now to help you in your mission and help further your impact?
Ooh, well, I will say, and I think this has come up in some of your other talks as well, being a mom is hard. And I think Michelle Obama talks about seasons of life. Yeah. And I'm almost at another season. My youngest is going to be 4 this weekend. So I feel like once she's in kindergarten, it's going to be a different shift as well. So I think what's holding me back is more of the ability to kind of wear both hats at the same time. Like I have great ideas and things I want to expand about, but there's only so many hours in the day. Yeah. So now I just need to, in my mind, think of, I'm building something and I'm building the foundation, and then I'll be ready to expand and escalate as, my life allows me to.
For.
Yeah.
How are your kids? How's your MLK weekend?
We were skiing in Tahoe.
Where were you skiing?
North Star. Cool. And we just got a puppy before Thanksgiving, so he came with us for the first time. So I was obviously very stressed on how is the dog going to be, how we're going to feed him, how we're going to ski.
Of course.
And it was great. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
So we're going to go back up again.
How do you keep your cup full? I mean, like doing all these things, it is very. Your energy capacity is like this, right? And it's a finite resource that is extended when you are working, when you're with your kids. I'm curious how you realistically keep that at a level that's necessary to fuel these different parts of your life.
That is a challenge. It is a huge challenge. I find for me, exercise is one thing that, like, when I don't get my workouts in, it actually stresses me out. So I need to make sure I am scheduling them in my week. And my kind of little tip is I always put an extra day in there, because usually something happens that for whatever reason I can't work out on when I schedule to. So if I'm going to strength train 4 times a week, I put 5 days in my calendar, and knowing that kind of gives me my buffer zone.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing is I love going to dinners. Yeah. So scheduling date nights with my husband or going out with girlfriends are things that kind of
that fuels you. It seems like you have a lot of your buckets filled, right?
Yes.
And that it's like it's a pie, or it's like I actually think that life is this work life. It's more of like a work life blend, and it's like a smoothie, and like you put different ingredients in it depending on the chapter that you're in, and that you heard it.
I think that yes, and sometimes I feel as though there's too much of one thing in there. Like sometimes the kids can feel too much, and then
100%.
Sometimes the work can feel too much, and it's just one of those where you have to pause and it's just like, well, what am I changing here, right? Like, how can I make this better, or what's not working?
Yeah.
And whether that's getting extra childcare, whether that's kind of cutting back on something or taking something away for a pause or pausing on something. That has to happen.
Since starting Crystal Hough Fitness, what has been something that you tried that did not work as well as you wanted it to, that you had to change, that ended up making things so much better for you?
Well, I will say it's kind of comes of something that I empowered me more to start kind of on my own. Is I've worked for, when I was starting out, kind of 2 other places, and it wasn't on my time, and it wasn't filling me as much, and knowing that I had to be on this call at 3:00 on Mondays, and I'm like, that's not a good time for me, 3:00 on Mondays. So that's kind of more of like pushed me to kind of be like, okay, I'm gonna go on my own. Or also like, oh, you're working at a gym where I need you to train this person at this time. I'm like, well, I can't do that. So I think it's more of like realizing what didn't work at other places, and like, so I had to create kind of my own
reality,
my own reality of
your own on your own terms.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's been working.
It's been working. I will say, there's things missing, but I've kind of found ways to get around that. So when you work for other people, you're always learning from other people, and you have this camaraderie, and you're sharing ideas. So I don't get that as much. However, I supplement that. I have my own coach. So I've gone through 4 different coaches.
Amazing.
And learning, just me going through doing things and being the science experiment or the client. I learned so much from how other people coach and what their approaches are and how to be better, that then I can bring onto my own clients.
Absolutely.
And then doing professional development, right? Learning from other people, just the actual professional development, but being in a room where other people are very similar to you, and then just trading coaching ideas or bouncing off, and then keeping contact with them that, oh, I'm doing this email thing, we're switching to this website instead, what do you think about that? And just having that is really important.
Absolutely. We can all learn so much from each other.
Yes,
right?
And not think about it as a competition. But
100%. Like, we're all in different places in our own businesses. We're all at slightly different chapters, doing slightly different things, and it's really refreshing to see people who are maybe a couple chapters ahead or a couple chapters behind, and say like, okay, well, they're not so dissimilar from myself. If I do X, Y, and Z, then I can move the needle like this, and this person is not so dissimilar from me either, and look how far we've come.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you were working with a coach. I love that.
Yes.
Are you working with a fitness coach, professional coach? Tell me a little bit about what your experience
right now.
I have
I have a fitness nutrition coach.
Yeah.
So he makes, and he's in the UK, right now, currently.
Yeah.
He does my workouts. I send videos of myself doing forms, and he's giving me corrections on like, let's make this a little bit better, or tweak that. And then we talk about kind of nutrition-wise macros, and we talk about kind of what the end goal for me is. So currently right now I'm in a very slight deficit, but then we're going to go into a build and gain some more muscle.
Cool.
But it's good to take off sometimes the mind of like, I need to do this for myself. I need to program myself and have someone else do it, and let them give me back feedback and see what's working and not, because they have a different way of training, and they have they've had different variety of people that then things that I haven't seen either.
It's also just so refreshing to like think about your thinking.
Yes.
And it's hard to do that in your own head.
Oh yes, 100%.
But like being able to have someone reflect back to you what you're doing, or maybe what you're not, so that you can look at it objectively.
Yeah.
It's also really, I wonder if you're getting some energy from your coaching as well.
Oh yeah.
That you're bringing back into your programs.
I mean, I bring it back to my classes right away. I'm like, my coach told me this. Like, this is and why it makes sense. And explaining like, yeah, I was doing this differently. For instance, like, when should you have your heaviest weight? Like, it shouldn't be your last set of the day. It should be the first set or maybe the second set, because you're less tired then. If you need to drop down later on, that's fine. But if you have more energy and you haven't tired your muscles, do the heaviest that you think you can do first. Obviously with proper warm up. Don't just throw up weight.
Yeah, of course. So fascinated. I love this coaching thing. Are you in a room or like metaphorical or a Zoom with other women who are that are personal trainers / nutrition consultants? Or is it all variety? Yeah, or is it a variety of different industry and women?
So I do one-on-one with him.
Yeah.
So we have Zoom calls together and check-ins, and then we're sending messages, and then I'm sending him like what I'm working out, like videos of myself. I feel like, yes, all the coaching that I have done in that sense of like nutrition fitness coaching has been one-on-one.
Okay.
I have done in the past a business coaching side where you're on a Zoom call with a bunch of women, mostly in the fitness nutrition space.
Yeah.
And they were more, I was probably the lowest end of like getting started. Yeah. And I still haven't put in everything into place yet, but that's okay. Again, like I need to take for myself of this is step by step what I can handle and what I can do right now. But I know where I can grow, right? And I've learned the tools, and I've also been with other people that I can then reach out to
as resources.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome.
Exactly.
Let me just visit my question sheet.
Yes.
my question sheet. Okay. Imposter syndrome.
Is it on my face right now? Can you see
No,
the
I
imposter?
have it too. Oh, 100%. This week I just wanted to like crawl into a hole and die, but instead we're launching a podcast. We're here. It's like one of the, just not literally, but sometimes you just want to like crawl and not leave your bed.
Yes.
But instead we're doing the opposite. So here we are. Tell me about how you manage that, because I think it's such a reality for all of us. It's really scary to try something new and different and see how it's received by others.
Yes.
I'd love to hear about how you've navigated.
So funny. Today, I think, is my 2-year anniversary of starting my Live Strong program. And I will tell you, day one, I was a nervous wreck. I practiced the warm-up and what I was going to say over and over in my head just so I didn't sound like I've never done it before. And I mean, I have done it before. I've done it over Zoom. I've done it for other companies. But when you're doing it for yourself for the first time, you don't want to disappoint yourself or the people around you, right? Yeah. And once you kind of get through that, I say sometimes even for working out, like the hardest part is putting on your shoes and walking out the door. Like showing up for the first time is hard, and just being there, and then it comes. Yeah. I mean, sometimes something doesn't go as planned, and that's okay. And you go back to the drawing board of like, how can I cue this better? How can I make it so this person can do that move correctly or whatever? And then you just research it, and you go back, and everyone's usually, I mean, I'm lucky that I'm kind of not in a life and death situation of, it's working out and trying to make people move better and feel better.
But you're still elevating your visibility and being a leader for others in your classes, and that requires vulnerability and putting yourself out there.
Yes, it does.
Right? At what point did you feel more confident in what you're doing?
I feel let's see, probably like +2, 3. Like I feel like once I've done all these things, I know I can do them. It's more of just the going through and doing it. So once you have kind of a few classes under your skin, whether it was my first Pilates class or my first Zoom strength training class or in-person strength training, then you're like, okay, I can do this. Like or one-on-one personal training. I still kind of, even on the nutrition side, right? There's so much to nutrition. So when I'm doing a nutrition group or doing one-on-one nutrition and someone asks a question that I may or may not know fully, it's more like, that is a great question. This is what I know, and let me go do some more research and come back to you and give you a more encompassing answer.
Response. It's kind of like picking up the heavy weights, where people are scared to do it at first.
Yes.
And they go do it and they surprise themselves.
Exactly.
It's like the confidence comes from the doing. We can't like train ourselves into a place of confidence. Like you just have to go through the motions of of the thing.
Yes.
Right? Let's see what other questions I have for you. Let's see. What has been most difficult? Any friction points in particular of doing this?
I think the hardest part is just how to do it all, right? So when you're working kind of on your own or by yourself, it's like, how much are you marketing? Do you send out emails, social media, all the other things besides just the work, right? Just besides the planning of the workouts and making sure that people are doing it correctly in class or doing the nutrition. And that part I think is challenging for me still. Is like, I'm not very social on the social media. I keep saying I'm going to be better at it, but it's life, right? So it's just like I have to prioritize what's most important. And I feel like I show up for my clients either in class or one-on-ones or nutrition, and I give them all of that. So the other things might not be 100% there yet, but there's room for improvement.
Oh my gosh. It's amazing. It's one step at a time, and none of these things happen overnight.
Exactly.
It's so great that you have a project that's fulfilling to you.
Yes.
And that's yours. Any mom hacks or personal rituals that allow you to juggle work and life at this point in time?
Well, I think I touched on it before of plan an extra of whatever you need. So whatever you need to do with that week. So for me, if it's my 4 workouts, I plan a 5th day of it or a 5th time slot. And even if it's like going to Target, have 2 times in my week that I can go to Target. Just I'm like, okay, I can either go this time or this time. So
I like that.
And the thing that I need to get better at is not thinking I need to do something every second of the day. Because sometimes I'm like, for 10 minutes, I have 10 minutes. Instead of doing a million things, I'm going to sit and have my cup of coffee or a cup of tea or something and be okay with that.
Yeah.
That is hard.
It is really hard. I think I don't know about you. I have found and experienced a huge amount of guilt around quote unquote downtime. But what I've discovered recently is it's like that white space or that recovery where like my best ideas come from.
Yes.
And so it's actually, it's not less important. It's not a break. It's actually like the most important part of the work is that recovery. Because like we're so busy, we're so busy with kids and everything. There's no time for creativity, imagination to emerge when you're in the busy, right?
Exactly.
And so it's like that 10 minutes for coffee. I bet I'm sure that refuels, and some of your creativity comes from those moments.
Most of my creativity comes from the shower.
Yeah, your moments of peace.
My husband, he gives me grief. He goes, you're in the shower for 40 minutes. I'm like, I solved all the world problems.
Right.
I was like, I got this figured out. I know what I'm going to do for this. I have an idea for my class. Because that's where, for the most of the time, I don't have someone barging in, although that does happen. But it's a minute, and I feel the shower makes me feel very relaxed, that I can actually think. And
you can. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And that's so important to remember, right? Like that it's not because you're lazy. It's actually the most important work that you're doing.
Yes.
Is during that quote unquote downtime.
And it's quiet for the most part. Like the water for me zones out everything else.
Totally.
Because my life with 4 children and a dog is just, everything's loud. Like I drive in the car with no music, no anything most of the time, just because I need the quiet space. Yeah.
My husband and I joke that those are our vacations. Like putting the kids in the car and then walking around in the car.
Yeah.
It goes from like a Louis C.K. skit. He's like, oh, that was a great vacation. Now let's go. Let's drive to Tahoe.
Yeah. Let's go do the work where our children have vacation.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's that white space, that quote unquote like pause, is much more pregnant than we give credit to it. And it's like sometimes being busy isn't being productive.
Yes.
Right? And so it's so important to carve out space to work on things, not in things.
Yes. 100%.
Which has been a big epiphany in the past
and it's
year
just,
or so.
And to your point, like not feeling guilty about that.
And not harboring guilt around it. That's exactly right. Yeah. don't hard work out. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to coach you. Or
Yes, you should. Thank you.
okay. What else do I want to ask you? That's not coming to mind. Are there any moments? I think you kind of alluded to this when you were banking, feeling like failure, but you're actually stepping stones to your breakthrough. Is kind of just recognize, look, this definition of success does not comport with my own, and that's okay.
Yes, and just feeling like success is not a dollar sign, right? And your worth is not just kind of money, and there's other things that can fuel you and make you feel better and have a better balance in life. That will, in the end, you're not leaving with the money.
No.
And I'm also, very grateful that my family structure allows me to, not have to bring in a certain amount of money to put food on the table, right? So, but I'm happy of what I'm doing, and the amount of income I have, is the extra added to the family or for my own.
And you're making a real impact in people's lives. Have you found with your clients that the confidence built in coaching and in weight training translates to other facets of their life, and it's been the impetus for other self-improvement? I
mean, I think yes, 100%. I've had people come in, and I'm thinking of one person in particular who even in the beginning was just like, I would just feel better if I can lose just 10 pounds. I never can lose 10 pounds. And 20 pounds later and stronger, feeling amazing and energized and being like just more confident in what she does as well. And that's not just one client. There's multiple of them that just come as little small things like, like my watch, I have to make it tighter because I just lost a little bit of weight. And then just, those little small things, they just, when you feel more confident in your skin, you feel more confident 100% out in life.
Could not agree with you more.
Yeah.
Who inspires you?
In the fitness and nutrition world?
No, anywhere. Like anywhere where you're like, wow, that got me to think about this differently, or...
Ooh, that's a hard one.
I'm just curious.
Anyone? Well,
could be anyone. Could be Obama. Or Michelle.
Well, I was going to say the strength and fitness world, Dr. Stacey Sims does, because I think she was very empowering of bringing studies about women up into light, because before the past few years, most studies were only done on men when it comes with fitness and nutrition, because women were an anomaly, right? We have hormones that make us not steady or not have the exact results, and I love that she's kind of put out there in the world that like we are not, her quote is, we are not small men, right? We are women. We function differently, our hormones are different, and I feel like this is kind of, she's one of the women who have kind of paved this path of like, let's explore how to train throughout, our life cycle and perimenopause and menopause, and there's been such a huge shift education around that now.
It's really interesting.
That and not just her, others, Dr. Mary Claire, but I think that this is a big pioneering stage for us, and it's great where we are in our being a 40-year-old woman versus being kind of 60, 70-year-old woman where there wasn't such big push, and HRT is bad and you're gonna get cancer, all these misconceptions and things that were not true. Are coming to light, and that we have more resources available for us and our other generations.
What are some of her? What are some books that we should be reading that you would recommend if we want to learn more about all of this?
Yes. So her books, Next Level.
Okay.
And I'm blanking on the other one. I forgot the other name of it. Gabriel Lyons also has a book, Forever Strong, that talks kind of the strength training, protein, and Dr. Mary Claire has the menopause book as well. So all these kind of in that space of depending on where you are personally.
Yeah, thank you.
Journey.
Cool. What have you been working on lately?
What have I been working on? I'm going strong. It's January, so people are in the gym. They want to strength train.
Yeah.
So I'm really kind of focusing on the form, getting people in, talking about why it's really important and explaining in my classes kind of how do you build muscle, the importance of building muscle, and how you're fueling for yourself on the side of just before your workouts, making sure you have carbohydrates to fuel you and then protein afterwards to continue on.
What do you think is the biggest misconception that you're encountering with your clients, if any?
Well, I would say I think people are just afraid of heavy weights.
Yeah.
Or they're afraid they're going to get hurt or do something to bother them.
Mm-hmm.
So they are very hesitant, or just thinking like, oh, I can't lift up that 20-pound weight because they've never picked up a 20-pound weight before.
Mm-hmm.
So I love it when people are like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, well, let's just try it. If you do one and you don't like, we go back down to the other one. And then they're surprised when they do 8 reps and they're like, oh, wow, I could do it. I was like, yes, you can. Like sometimes it's in your mind, not in your body.
Absolutely. A lot of the time it's in your mind, not your body.
Yes.
What is the fear grounded in? What are the fears? Like when you say people are scared of heavy weights, what are they afraid of? The result or the potential injury?
I think there's a few things. I think one, especially how trends have gone, women are afraid they're going to look like they're bodybuilders and really bulky, when in actuality it takes a lot of food and strength training sessions for you to really put on a lot of muscle. Like it's very hard to do that. But I think that women are just worried like, I don't want to bulk up. I just want to look lean at it. And that's not the case. Like you still need muscles to look your lean. And then I think there's a part of women have only done cardio machines. Like they go to maybe a group fitness class, they pick up their 5 or 8 pound weights or 10 pound weights, and that's kind of it. And a lot of group classes, that's all that's in the back. And men maybe have had more opportunities to be in a weight room where women may not have had those opportunities growing up or things. So they don't know what to do. I think one of the biggest compliments I ever got is a woman who was coming to my classes. She had to travel for one of her son's lacrosse games or something, and she was the hotel gym. She goes, I have to tell you, I was able to go to the hotel gym and use the weights and not just go on the cardio machine because you've taught me moves to do and I can just do those moves. And that was like just so empowering that women, they can be like, okay, I can do this. I can hang and pick up the weights and know what to do and come up with something to do versus just, I'm going to go sit on the treadmill or elliptical.
How long do you think in general it takes from someone to go from picking up heavier weights for the first time to seeing some sort of physical outcome or even emotional outcome?
Yeah, I mean, it can happen on day one.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for more of like physical attributes, I think you want to give yourself a little bit of time, like 6 months-ish before, because I think it takes your body some time to just get used to the movements and what you're doing. Maybe 3 months it's happening, but by 6 months you're in a routine and then your body knows what you're doing. And then you're also mentally being able to be like, oh, I can do this. I've done this before, and go to it.
The women who, or and men, so anyone,
I do have men.
You do have men in your class as well. Are the majority of your clients individuals who have worked out before, who have never worked out, or are somewhere potentially in the middle?
I would say for the most part, I get people who are on the beginning side of strength training. Doesn't mean they haven't done exercises with weights before, but I'll ask them, have you ever done a RDL, Romanian deadlift? And they'll look at me and they're like, I don't know what that is.
What's it called?
Romanian deadlift.
Oh yeah, I think I tried this with you.
So I think people have done some moves and they've done a lot of kind of like maybe some squats and lunges, but just focusing on the strength training part versus taking the cardio aspect out of it, I find less of the people, for me, I find people who are more on the beginning side.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So interesting. I'm so inspired.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you want to share? This has been so enlightening. It's been so fun talking to you.
No, I have to say, I feel so, I don't know the word, but like grateful to be sitting in this chair.
Yeah.
You have had such powerful women and individuals that I think that sometimes we forget how powerful women are, and even the small businesses and the larger businesses. Me being here, I just feel very empowered. It's empowering for me to sit here. So thank you for inviting me to be here.
You have so much to learn from you.
And I have so much to learn from you and for all the other women here.
Thank you. Thank you.